Well, greetings everyone and welcome to my channel. You've reached Kathleen Shattuck and I'm here with your February 2026 energy forecast. And if you are new to my channel, thank you for stopping by. And if you are returning, welcome guys. Thanks for coming back to see me again. I'm a Reiki master teacher, a shaman, and psychic medium, and you're joining me here from my Reiki healing room in Port Orchard, Washington. If anyone is interested in having some healing or reading with me, you can find all of my information in the description box of this video. Now, for this month, the angels wanted me to talk about the different paths that you can take in spirituality. This is just non-religious spirituality, and you know what the different paths are that we can take, and what the signs are and kind of what they're about. That way you guys can make your own informed choice of the energy that you want to work with. Okay, so we're going to go into a pre-recorded video that I made for that, and then I'm going to have you guys join me back here for some tarot, which looks really interesting so far. So I hope you'll stick around, and I will see you back here in just a moment. Well, greetings everyone. Now, while you're out there on your search for life, the universe, and everything, you should know that not everyone in the spiritual community follows the same set of morals, values, and ethics. There are endless variations of spirituality, but essentially there are two main paths that can be explored, with varying shades of gray between the two. One path of spirituality is called the right-hand path. This is the path that serves the light and the common good of all. Their spiritual practices may include intentional mantras, meditation, prayer, plant medicine, and energy work. They may also use crystals for healing and divination tools like tarot cards and pendulums to seek answers from the divine. They have a real respect for karmic law and for free will, knowing that the energy that they put out into the world will return to them multiplied. So they're very careful about what they're creating for themselves and others in their workings. These white witches and light workers are usually very solitary and do not work with anyone else except for their angels and guides. Then on the other side, we have what is called the left-hand path. This path serves themselves, their witchcraft coven if they belong to one, and to the demonic entities they make deals with, and sometimes that also includes their ancestors. Their primary goals are to seek power, control, and domination, and to attain wealth and status through means of spiritual thievery. They may use candles, mirrors, blood, and other body fluids, sex magic, herbs and roots, animal, and even human sacrifice to feed the demons that they're trying to conjure. They tend to gather in groups around the full moon and new moon cycles and perform rituals to manifest their dark intentions into reality. These people want it all without putting in the effort, and to achieve this, they target people who have something they want. They steal hard-earned blessings and divert them to their pocketbooks instead. Now, it's said that both paths eventually serve the same whole, as the growing pains and learning lessons of the left-hand path are what create opportunities for the soul to grow and evolve. Many on the dark path, the left path, are either born into it, or they married into it, or somehow got dragged down into it while they were in a vulnerable place in their life. They get lured into it with big promises of wealth, fame, status, community, and they often become very blinded by these illusions. And they eventually find out the hard way that the dark really cannot create anything on its own. It's just an empty void that has to be fed over and over again in order to create. And it's always hungry because demons can never be content. They can never be satisfied, and they can never be satiated. They are cursed beings. Now, when it comes to dark spell work, If those dark spells and that black magic happens to backfire, it can be detrimental to the person who cast it, or if they're working in numbers, a backfired black magic spell could affect the entire group. It's always a roll of the dice and gambling with people's lives. Now, in contrast to this, the right-hand path or the light path uses universal energy that is unlimited in power. They don't need spell jars, voodoo dolls, or graveyard dirt. They don't sacrifice animals to demons and would never dream of harming anyone. All they have to do is pray. They ask and they receive because they remain faithful to the Creator. And when His children call, He answers them. So now that you guys have a better understanding of the differences in energy between these two very different paths, there's a really important point I want to make. And this is especially important to anyone new to spirituality, is that not everyone at your favorite crystal shop or psychic class or Reiki circle or share has the same set of morals, values, or ethics. The left-hand path, they tend to target spiritual newbies and take advantage of their naivety. They may try to act as your new best friend and make you a part of their group, and before you know it, you find yourself surrounded by hungry vampires. Now, as a professional in this business, I can tell you that people seeking spiritual answers outside of church, they are typically in very vulnerable states. They're either going through something really difficult in their lives, or they're just super lonely and looking to connect. Now, I've been warning for many years that the dark are running out of places to hide. This last year has been all about the exposure of truth. The Chinese Year of the Snake is getting ready to leave us here on February 17th. So I expect there to be some grand finales that could be explosive, guys. So hold on to your hats, grab some popcorn, and enjoy the show. And that concludes this part of the video. I want to thank you guys so much for listening, and be sure to stay tuned because we've got a really interesting tarot card reading up next. I'll see you there. All right, guys, thanks so much for joining me back here for some tarot. Now let's go ahead and get into it. I've already shuffled the cards and kind of dealt them out. I chose the classic Rider-Waite deck, and I also did the Animal Spirit Oracle. So let's go ahead and do the animal cards first. Now, they distinctly gave me two groups of you, and so according to the paths, right, the light path and the dark path, and some of you may be in the gray path, okay? Just take the reading as it resonates. Take what really kind of hits you here and leave the rest and the other messages for someone else that needs to hear it, okay? So the animal messages, let's go ahead and start with Team Dark. Let's read for Team Dark. Okay, Team Dark, you guys got the animal message of the crocodile, okay, and the snake. I pulled two animal cards for each of you. We have crocodile and snake, okay? And the first thing that the angels said, Archangel Michael wanted me to remind those of you who serve the dark that even snakes and crocodiles eat each other. They eat each other. The message was that they turn on each other. They are... while they are very highly intelligent and very quite regal and royal animals of Egypt, okay, they are what they are, okay? There's a kind of like, they're showing me a bloodline thing. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm really picking up the red in this card, that red loosh energy. If any of you bothered to go back and check my video for September, that really had some interesting information in it about loosh. So there's something they're showing me here about, like kind of like a black hole, like there's a hollow, there's a void that is inside of your energy. And they're also showing me like a drain, like a siphoning that is happening. And that's because you're serving darkness. You're serving the self, you're serving darkness. And as I've been explaining for many years now, our earth is changing. The dimensional levels are changing. The earth is literally shedding her old skin, okay? And this is the end of the year of the snake. So it's no surprise that we should get a snake so close to the Chinese New Year, which is February 13th. February 17th. I don't know why I said that. That might mean something to one of you out there. Okay. The snake shedding is showing what's hidden underneath. It's showing the hidden layers, the things that we didn't see before, and any kind of masks, any kind of deceit is going to be seen. The light that is on the earth now. Those of you who serve the darkness, you should know that you're not going to be staying on earth anymore. If you continue and you don't stop serving darkness, you are going to be basically taken after this lifetime. You're not going to get to come back to earth. So I want you guys to really think about it, okay? Really, really think about and think about darkness too. And that darkness is a void, okay? It's an empty void that is always hungry, that always needs to be filled, and it's just a bag of tricks, okay? It's smoke and mirrors, it's illusion, it's deception, it's toxic. So if you really want to start healing your life, it's time to look at who are you serving, okay? Because is this working out for you? Not really, okay? By the tarot, no, it's not. So we'll stop there with the animal deck for the Team Dark, as I'm calling it. And now we're gonna go to Team Light, okay? Let's see what you guys got, okay? You got the Dragonfly. I love this card, it's so pretty. Look at that. And then we also got the Elephant, okay? The Elephant there. All right, and see how the elephant has a fire? The elephant's kind of like stoking the flames of the fire. See that third eye there? Okay, and see the upside down triangle, which is a water energy. That's a feminine energy here. Some of you, Team Light, might see signs, okay? One of your signs from spirit might be a dragonfly, okay? So always pay attention. Make sure you get outside at least once a day. Go for a walk. Go connect with nature, because nature is always trying to speak with us. Now, and there's something really about the sky, and I kind of feel like there's a moon back there too. It kind of looks like there might be a moon in the sky. So yeah, I would say, you know, pay attention, look up, and look for the signs. When you're looking for an answer from spirit, from the angels, from your guides, look up. Get off your phone. Okay, look up, and if you see a dragonfly, that's a very special meaning. That's you know, spirit's trying to communicate with you. And it was that way with me in the beginning too. It was dragonflies, it was, you know, butterflies, it was hummingbirds coming right up in my face and stuff. It just, yeah, that's when your energy starts shifting and you start connecting with the universe, right? And that's where you go when you serve the light, and when you serve the angels. Amazing things happen. It's unlimited power, unlimited resources. So this elephant card here is very interesting. Now this elephant is kind of stoking the flames of her fire. Do you see that? She's got like a, that looks like a fire, or maybe it's is it a gourd? I can't tell really. I think it's more of a fire. But what this fire represents is the creation, and together these cards represent the energy of creation, of grounded creation energy. And I'm seeing here, like, this is like the new earth. This is where we're going. It's like we're being given a glimpse beyond this dragonfly into something bigger, something that's awaiting us, right? The elephant message is telling us that we need to ground, and we need to, yeah, focus on keeping our fire of passion, our fire of creation, and our light stoked, okay? Our light needs to be stoked. It's something that constantly needs to be cared for, okay? Think about when you go camping. they're showing me this. When you go camping and you have that fire, to keep that fire going takes a lot of work, doesn't it? You've got to go out into the woods, you've got to chop down the wood, you've got to gather the kindling, you've got to get the, all of the things that you need to keep that fire going, and you have to feed that fire. Okay, so they're asking me, what are you feeding yourself? Okay, what are you feeding yourself to create the new earth and the new world that you want to see? What are you focusing on? Are you focusing on feeding your fire? Okay, your own passion, your own energy, or are you pouring that, your cup out onto others? All right, this is the imagery that I'm getting in my mind's eye. Okay, so that is the message for Team Light. So now we're going to go into the tarot cards, which I've already pulled out here. And the very first card that we got was the 10 of Wands. Okay, the 10 of Wands represents endings. And by the way, this year of 2026 is a 10-year in numerology. So it's all about endings. Okay, it's about endings and new beginnings. We are very much in the energy of the Phoenix, and not everybody is going to make the cut. Okay, it's all based on our decisions that we make that determine like where our energy goes. Okay, it takes a lot of energy and a lot of effort and work and dedication to get to the new earth, to get into that window. We can only peek there right now. Some of us can actually go there, but it's a, again, it's a vibrational thing. So this card here came in reverse. Okay, so this card normally represents burden. Okay, so this is representing a kind of laying down of burdens. Okay, it's laying down what isn't working for us in our lives anymore. Okay, this card is a card of, okay, I'm done, I'm over it, this is not working out for me anymore. I've got to drop the load. Okay, so whatever that load is for Team Light or Team Dark, I'm going to go middle gray ground now for all of us. Okay, because we're all a collective, we all have light and we all have dark, but Team Dark serves the darkness and the self, so they tend to take advantage of Team Light. Just saying, but I'm going to read for all of us because we are a human collective. So it's time to lay down burdens, guys. If something isn't working for you and you've been trying and trying and trying and trying and trying to get this thing that you really want to work and it's not working, trying harder is not going to make it work, guys. It's not going to make it work. Trying harder is only going to exhaust you because you've come up against a wall. If you've given something your all and your effort and put 110% into it and it's not moving, it's not budging, if it's a project, if it's a relationship, whatever it is, okay, if it's not working, and it hasn't worked despite all of your best efforts, it's time to let it go. Okay? Now, the next card that we got was the Tower. Okay? The Tower card represents sudden, rapid, and unexpected events. It usually has a negative spin on it, but I don't believe that all towers are bad. Some towers can seem really horrible when we're going through them. Trust me, I've been through many towers in my life, but they always bring about change, okay? And it's usually like change when we won't let something go, when we won't release something and we just keep hanging on to those burdens, all right? Whatever is not working for us, God and the angels are like, okay, no, zap. They're just going to bring the Tower on to kind of force you to change. All right. They're always gently guiding us, and we're given so many chances. It's unbelievable. A million chances to change and to be better and to do better. And, I'm not trying to put like a biblical spin on this, but there are forces of energy of light and dark. Okay, so if you have been a snake, okay? If you've been a low down, dirty snake to people and you've been hiding things and you've been lying to everybody and trying to uphold some fake, false image of yourself, honey, it's going to come down. The tower is striking, okay? So for Team Dark, the tower strike for you is probably going to hurt. It's probably going to hurt pretty bad. You know, and I'm sorry that you're going through that. I'm sorry that your actions caused the tower to happen, okay? If you're being a crocodile, okay, and you're being like a predator on people and you're trying to do nasty, evil things, what do you think is going to happen? What do you expect is going to happen, guys, okay? That is not how we do things. It's not right. So, you know, wherever you are on the scale of morality, okay, we don't fuck over our friends. We don't betray people. We don't lie. We don't cheat. We don't steal. Those are naughty things, okay? The people that want easy money and want, you know, fast track to success without putting in the effort, your tower is now striking. The bells have tolled and judgment has come upon you. We are definitely in the energy of judgment. So I want you guys to think about that. Now, with the Tower card for Team Light, this could be just something that falls away from you. Okay, that's what I'm feeling like. Just something is just going away. Something that was bothersome or nuisance in your life is now being laid to rest. Okay, God is taking care of it, and we don't have to worry about it. So the next card that came in was the Knight of Wands. Okay, and this is a card generally of being very fiery and passionate. But the Knight of Wands warns that charging ahead without making proper preparations is very dangerous. As you can see, he's forging ahead and all gung-ho, but he's going into a desert, okay? He's going into a desert, but he trusts that he's going to be carried through. Okay, and you can see his wand, okay, his staff there is, it's growing new sprouts. He's in a creation energy, a forging ahead. And yes, this represents the Chinese New Year of the year of the horse energy. The horse energy is going to help us with learning our lessons of the year of the snake, okay? All of the snakes that are being revealed and uncovered as Mother Earth sheds her skin, okay? She's showing us, you know, what's going on. Now, this is a card of being bold. It's represented by the fire signs, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius. So this is forging boldly ahead, okay? And the year of the snake is just the energy we need to do this, whether you're light or you're dark. But if you're dark, you're going to be forging ahead and get into a desert. And then with the tower striking here, be careful. Really think about what you're doing before you do it, because you could really wind up getting yourself in some bad ways, okay? Especially the satanic black witches out there. You know, if you guys are pregnant and messing around with spell work and stuff, you could risk harming your baby if it backfires. Think about the energy. Be careful about the energy that you are putting out, because the threefold law of the universe says that what we put out, we get back times 3, times 3, times 3, which is 9. Okay, that is the karmic law of the universe. And there are spiritual laws and boundaries that if they are crossed enough times, that can also be very detrimental. So those of you that are going through towers, I want you to really think about your actions. What have your actions been? How's your energy been? What's your attitude been towards others? Have you been helpful and kind and, tried to be a good person and being a good human being? Or are you being a cutthroat slayer in survival mode, trying to claw your way to the top, and you don't care who you hurt? Okay, this is where we're at, okay, where I realize that the collective has light and dark, but this is really more like being in your trauma, being healed, living in survival mode, or actually enjoying and relaxing and celebrating life, okay? Now, speaking of life, we got the Empress came up. So that is a card that somebody could be pregnant out there, okay? And it came next to the Knight of Wands, okay? This is a very, Knight of Wands is kind of a promiscuous energy. So I'm going to say the darker energy of this would be that, you know, the husband was out cheating, somebody was out cheating and got pregnant. Okay, that could be a possibility for some of you out there. Some of you could have found out you're pregnant. Okay, I'm feeling that pregnancy energy, so I just wanted to make sure that the dark practitioners out there know that when you're messing around with witchcraft and you're messing around with satanic shit, okay, you could hurt your baby, okay? So please be really careful and really think before you go attacking someone, okay? Because it could really hurt you or your baby. Now, these two together, this is a card of promiscuity. It did not come upside down, but there is a, there's kind of a flavor there I'm getting that there has been some promiscuity perhaps going around. So yeah, time to rein people in and think about those relationships that need to drop. Think about, you know, that load that needs to drop, okay? Because somebody could be messing around here. Somebody could have got somebody pregnant, okay? Just saying, I just heard babysitter, okay, for somebody out there. So I hope that's not true, but you know what? I'm here and, you know, the world needs healing because the world is fucked up. So that's just the way it is. And it's not always going to be that way. We have to face our shit. We have to face our darkness, and we have to, we've got to wrestle it in, okay? And there's no other way but going through it. Now, the last card that we got is the card of, this one is the Two of Wands. So this card talks about travel. Okay, this is kind of setting a compass heading. It could denote taking a vacation, traveling overseas somewhere. Some of you might be considering that. So there's a warning here with the Tower card. Okay, to be careful. Really check on your retrogrades, like Mercury retrograde and stuff like that. Make sure that you're not traveling during a retrograde period, they're telling me. And so yeah, you're just trying to kind of find yourself and go exploring, go discover. And that's exactly what that video I made is about. You know, when we're exploring the metaphysical world, okay, oftentimes many people don't realize, okay, they're looking for their own magic, they're looking for self-improvement, they're looking for empowerment and light and finding their tribe. And, you know, that's where we have the last card here is the Magician. Okay, a lot of people that go into these metaphysical shops, they have had something, you know, going on in their life. They're not religious, so they don't feel comfortable going to like a church. So they'll seek out psychics, they'll seek out healers like me, just to, you know, kind of talk to somebody about what's going on and get some help. So, you know, we are not aware usually when we get into these situations that we could be sitting next to somebody that's doing animal sacrifice. Okay, so I want you guys to really remember that when you start getting involved in any kind of spiritual group, even if it seems like it's of the light, if they're doing any kind of sacrificial stuff, they're playing around with graveyard dirt, okay, that would be the Magician in reverse, okay? They're playing around in, you know, hair and nail clippings and chanting and stuff like that. Guys, that's not of the light. That's dark magic, okay? I'm just saying. You know, some people call me a witch. I don't really consider myself that much of a witch. I would consider myself more of a sorceress than anything else. But I don't mess around with that. I don't mess around with that. I allow the angels and, you know, God to fight my battles for me. So, now, when it comes to the Magician card, this is a card of air signs, especially Gemini, okay? And Geminis are very magical people, and we're in a real strong air energy right now because we're in Aquarius at the time of I'm making this reading. So this is speaking of like self-empowerment through finding the self. They're showing me the Hermit card in my mind's eye, which is a card of Virgo. Okay, this is about like going inside of yourself and then finding your own magic and being the master of your own life. This is a card of self-mastery, okay? And like I said in my little video clip, like both the light path and the dark path ultimately lead to the same destination, which is self-mastery. And those that have chosen this dark path, okay, it is a fast track to enlightenment, but you can't stay in the darkness and find enlightenment or find true power. True power only comes from God, and that is the lesson that the dark teaches us. And we're supposed to go through it. That is part of the story of like Lucifer, for example, and how he was God's most beautiful, perfect angel that, you know, was a rival to God. There was no other perfect angel than Lucifer. And Lucifer, in all of his glory and beauty and love to God, became kind of like jealous of God and wanted to be God himself. And that's where you have the fall, okay? That whole story is a representation of us. We are spiritual beings having a human experience. And so we come down here, we have a veil of amnesia that goes over us, and we forget who we are. So the magician is about, yes, finding yourself again. So if you guys are thinking about, you know, taking a trip somewhere to kind of find yourself and find your magic and your zest for life again, okay, your energy, okay, find what stokes your fire, find what you know, kind of fans your flames and ignites you and gets your third eye lit. Look at that elephant. It is lit up, okay, and it is grounded in its own energy, and it's solid and confident in itself, okay? The elephant, yeah, it's a really powerful totem, and that also makes me think of the Hindu god Ganesh, okay? And so, you know, if you guys are struggling, okay, if you're struggling with even getting pregnant, or you're having, you know, like miscarriages or anything like that, Ganesh, wrong card, Ganesh is a very good totem to call upon. Ganesh is also very good for money matters as well, so praying to Ganesh, okay? And this card could also be with the magician, okay? That's kind of becoming a God creator, okay? So it's like bringing down and manifesting your magic into the physical realm. So that's a really powerful card. And those of you that have been doing your work, your light work, and you know, really making that effort to get yourself ahead, you guys are going to be so rewarded, so rewarded. Your tower card that's coming in could be, you know, an unexpected happy event, happy news, maybe, you know, hopefully some unexpected money comes out of somewhere. That would be wonderful. That's for some of you. But for Team Dark, you guys are going to be, it's time for you guys to do your shadow walk. You have to walk through the shadow, and so you're going to have to keep walking in the shadow until you figure out the shadow is not working for you anymore. Okay, shadow's not working for you anymore, guys. So it's time to hang something up. It's time to let it go. Lay those burdens down. Wipe the slate clean. It is the new year. It's the Chinese New Year on February 17th. So that might be a good day to say, you know what? I'm letting all this shit go, and I'm going to charge ahead, and I'm going to be bold and embolden myself to go soul searching and go find myself, okay? Because without finding ourselves and being confident and secure in who we are, we're always going to be that empty void that needs to be filled, okay? So that is the wisdom from the angels and guides this month from me. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and please don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe and share it with like minds if you feel somebody might, you know, benefit from this little reading. So there's the Blue Jays confirming. So thank you so much, and I will see you guys again in another month. Take good care until then. Bye-bye.